Okay, so the Soviet Revolution was a success. Russia is now out of the war. However, Austria is not doing so well. I should say also the Ottomans are not doing very well either. They both are, well, obviously the Ottomans are doing very, very badly. And the Soviets just pieced out and they puppeted Mongolia. So, yeah, that's beginning to happen. We have a good relationship. The Soviets have a good relationship with the Austrians and the Ottomans, but I don't think they would join in. It's 1917. We're not seeing anything from the U.S. Obviously, I think if the U.S. join, then I think it's super over. Although, if the Soviets join the Central Powers, if we check the, I should check the faction map mode, just in case I missed something. What is this? The German Empire has called upon the Austria-Hungary. Oh, were they not involved in the war? Were they not helping out? I guess they weren't. I missed that. I don't know if that was the crack or what. Wait, where's my faction map mode? Hello? There it is. Okay, so they're just part of the Comintern. I didn't realize that they formed their own faction when they join in. So, does that mean that they can't join? I don't know. I think that they still could join, or they could just declare their own war. I don't know what would force them into a war with the Western Europeans, with the Allies. I guess the Soviets could go to war with America. But America, that really doesn't do anything either. Oh, the Ottomans are dead. Empire of Japan actually got a pretty good chunk out of the Ottomans too. So the problem with this now is that Austria is really going to be facing a big issue. Wow, we've got 90. Oh my gosh, how? I'm guessing the Alps are causing a lot of issues for the AI, but we've got the Allies, the Italians, with about 80 divisions here. I mean, even the who's that? That's not the Swiss, is it? Well, the British are over here sending over some troops too. British are here. The Austrians, I think, have this front handled. This front they should be able to defend against. Oh, I think this is where they start to make the push forward. I think they're going to start to make the push forward, and if Germany doesn't take down France, then I think this series is going to be over. Unless, of course, who knows? Because the Soviets could throw like just a huge wrench in what normally happens, and they could do something crazy here. If Austria falls, and then if the Soviets don't like Germany though. It's not they don't like each other, but they don't have like a good opinion, at least. Has a very good opinion. Maybe the Soviets will get upset. Maybe they'll get upset if the Allies take down Austria. I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. They're just losing a ton of these battles here. A lot of this stuff. So it's 1917. The war... Wait a second. Are you getting pushed back, Germany? Because that's kind of what it feels like. The war should end about a year from now if everything stays just as historical. This has been a pretty historical campaign. Like it's kind of gone almost the way it did. Kind of. Obviously, plus and minus a few factors here and there. Let's see who's winning this. Coastal defense. Yeah, you probably should have got that up a lot sooner. I don't know what that is, but you needed that because they're going through the Adriatic Sea. And they're launching a whole bunch of stuff. Are we seeing a peace deal, or what is this? Russian Empire has declared war on Soviet Russia. So there has been another revolution. Whoa. Are you a part of the Allies? We know they don't like Ukraine or Germany. And Finland doesn't like you either. How did that happen? All right, so there's a second revolution taking place. How much strength do you have? You look like you have a ton of divisions. Whoa. Okay, yeah. Are the Soviets ready for this? Because it looks like the Soviets only have 24 divisions, while the Russians have a lot more. Okay, so I think it might be safe to say Russia's going to gain control over their, Eastern European and Asian territory. Does that mean they immediately, if they're a part of the same faction, then yes. If they're a part of they're part of the White Movement, apparently. So they would not be a part of the Entente. If I'm saying that right. They would be forming a whole nother thing. Which who knows what that would mean? Would that be a Scandinavian thing? Do you guys want to join the White Movement? Ukraine? Romania? I don't know. Japan is still on the side of the Allies. Bulgaria has not joined in, and that's kind of crazy to me. Like, Bulgaria could, I think, be a real difference maker for Austria-Hungary. Alright, let's focus on this revolution here. So what else would they need? They don't need much. Russian-Soviet war, only 2% in favor of the aggressors. Well, there's something that took place that that makes this kind of non-historical, right? I actually don't know. I don't believe there was a second revolution after the Soviets took control. Maybe there was some things going down. Reign of the Tsar authority. We're no longer getting the effects of dual power. Sounds like it's a pretty good thing for Russia. Yeah, see, they're pushing in forward. However, where are the Soviet VPs at? In St. Petersburg. So if the Soviets just defend long enough, they're gonna be good. World tension has gone down by quite a bit, hasn't it? How does Finland feel about all this stuff that's taking place in this world? You know, they're good. They're doing their thing. Scandinavia's kind of staying out of it. Spain and Norway like each other. This is interesting because you know, I think that I don't know how long the national focus trees go. I don't think there could be... We could continue to play out this series and see what happens for like a World War II or something like that. I don't know if World War II would take place, though. This has been a pretty big back and forth, I think, for the German-French front. Kind of gone all over the place. The British are, I think, for the most part, protecting Belgium. Okay, so Russia is now, I think it's safe to say, even though I'm noticing the Soviet Union has a national unity of 90%, I think it's safe to say Russia's going to get back their control, right? No political power. Only 600,000 manpower, though. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, the Soviets just don't have the troops. Well, they're starting to. They got 25 divisions out of nowhere. This could flip back. I don't know. I mean, we got to just keep checking on this. I don't know, man. 13% aggression in favor of the aggressors. That's not enough. That's really not what I was. That's not what I was figuring. I can't believe the Ottomans are just gone. They could be revived though, if Austria were to come down here and fix things. How does China feel about all this stuff? Authoritarian. We've got a pretty, you know, communist Mongolia. Russia would be fascist. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I totally missed that. So Russia wasn't fascist before. This would be a revolution for fascist Russia. Which who knows what that would mean? Because again, we don't have a fascist Germany. Germany is, what is Germany? Germany really doesn't care. Germany's just like, whatever, I'm just trying to win this war. Same goes for Austria, right? Yeah, so they don't care about all these ideologies. Italy, pretty democratic. France, the UK, Spain, mostly democracies. Mostly democracies. Romania still hasn't joined in. Now, Romania could be the deciding factor here, too. Fighting this huge front, then it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's not that Romania is, like, as powerful as Russia, but it would make things pretty difficult. Ooh, yeah, I think the British just broke through. I think the British broke through here. And the Russians have kind of stopped, haven't they? Again, Russia did not kind of spawn in the best of locations because they're kind of in this corner here. I mean, they're kind of smack dab in the middle of the Soviets. It's getting a lot closer because somehow the Soviets were able to raise up an army. We've got 19 divisions here. 6 Russian divisions. I'm wondering how many there are on the outside. Mongolia, are you involved? Yeah, you've got to be involved, right? Okay, yeah, I was just making sure. I wonder if Finland would make a choice. Do you care? I don't think Finland would want to get involved at all. I don't think so. Okay, so it's 1918. if the Austrians survive this, let's see, Austria at 124. There's just no way I see the Central Powers winning this anymore. I mean, I don't. It's kind of tough. Even if Germany gets up a ton more factories, if they can't sway somebody, I don't think they could sway the United States, right? That's not a part of their national focus. Let's look into this, because I don't think the Austrians will really be able to make much of a difference. Coastal defenses, civil fortification. Boer revolts? Is that war with South Africa? Don't think that is going to happen. They can't choose Italy anymore, or whatever that was. Yeah, no, most of this stuff over here is going to be like kind of army, naval, planes, things like that. I don't think so. They're not. They can't go here because they're not at peace. So there's nothing they can do really to get the U.S. to join in on their side. I don't think. Fascist coup. They might be able to do a few fascist things though. I mean, if this war goes badly for them, they could always start doing something like that. How's it looking now? Russia's still pushing forward, but if we look at the they just haven't existed for long enough, and they don't have the VPs, I don't think. Let's open this up. Yeah, the Soviets still have tons of VPs. 17%. The problem is this is not what... This is really, really not good for... Because the Soviets actually liked Austria. How does the Russians feel? The Russians don't like Ukraine, don't like Germany, don't like Finland, so it's less likely they join in. They're all part of their own faction, too. They're all trying to do... Oh, boom! The U.S. just joined the Entente, so they're going to join in. They're going to join in, and I think that's going to be over. France has made a naval invasion up here. I think this is going to be over. I think the fat lady is starting to sing. I still would kind of want to see the results of like what would happen, though, in all these peace deals. Ooh, the Soviets kind of cutting through. What's going on here? They must have found themselves... Yeah, they've got some mobile troops in here. Dividing up Russia. This is pretty crazy. This is a ton of chaos right here taking place in Eastern Europe. All of these divisions, all these crazy countries. Oh, you're done, I think. How many troops does France have? In this location, at least. I think ultimately it's going to be the British Navy that might save them. So they just haven't been called in, right? Oh, United States is involved. Whoa! Whoa! So Germany is allied to Mexico. What was that called? There was something papers, faxes. Germany tried to reach out to Mexico. I don't think Mexico's going to join in, though, right? If they do, they're just going to get their butt kicked. So the United States is involved in this war. That's how you know it's over. Ah, man, they were close. Central Powers, all they really needed was the Soviets to join in on their side. That might have been enough. Possibly. Yeah, that might have been enough. Oh, there's some weird stuff taking place. Whatever's taking place here. And you're going to have a fascist... Well, either a fascist or a communist uprising. One or the other. We have Lenin leading this. Mongolia is going to go either way. Whoever wins, they'll be whatever happens to that whole land. Are there U.S. troops here, though? That's what I want to know. Because I actually don't see... Or is that United States troops? Yeah, yeah. So the U.S. is here. They're done. Which means Germany's done. Austria actually might hold out a little bit. Yeah, Austria might hold out for a little bit. I'd like to see Mexico join in just to see what they would do. I don't think they will. Yeah, Central Powers had it. It was close. It was pretty close, but they didn't have the chips fall in their favor. It was like they had the opportunities, they just barely missed out. You know, if the Soviets stayed alive, if they didn't go through this revolution, who knows what would have happened. The Soviets might have. I don't think the Soviets would have done anything for the Central Powers, but I think the Soviets could have declared war on the Allies themselves, just a Comintern Allied war. I think that could have been a possibility, which obviously would have been a pretty big deal, because then you have to, you know, even if the U.S. joins in, the U.S. would probably be focused on stopping the Soviets, whatever they were trying. I don't really know what the Soviets would do. Maybe the Soviets declare war on Japan, or no, because it's Ottoman territory. Yeah, they could still do that, declare war on Japan over here. That could have been a possibility. How's China feeling about all this stuff? They really don't care. China's just doing their own thing. They're chilling. They're not trying to get involved in all this fighting. World tension has gone down by quite a bit. Yeah, so Belgium's in 16. It's 16. 16%, 15% in favor of the defenders. So, I might come back for either a short episode next time around. I might push the campaign a little bit just to see what happens. We'll see. But I do want to see the results of this peace deal. Hey man, that was close. That was close. I definitely saw, you know, like I said, a few holes for the Central Powers to maybe squeeze an extra country on their side. It just didn't work out for them. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.